10 details about an explosive device found in Parsons, Kansas. Plus, a woman receives a prison sentence in connection with the death of her daughter in Missouri, and how Caney, Kansas is dealing with a water emergency.
The four states' most watched news starts now.
Authorities in Parsons, Kansas discover an explosive device in a residential area. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. They say they received a call at around 2 p.m. for a suspicious object in the 2700 block of Durr. When they arrived, they tested the device and the result was positive for explosive material. Kansas Highway Patrol Hazardous Device Unit came, disposed of the device. Still no word yet on a suspect, and authorities urge anyone with information to contact the Parsons Police Department. An Ozark County woman got a 4-year prison sentence today in connection with her daughter's death. Prosecutors had argued that Rebecca Rudd drugged and beat her 16-year-old daughter Savannah Leckie in 2017. But Rudd's defense claimed Leckie killed herself and that Rudd panicked and burned the body. A jury found her not guilty of first-degree murder back in July, but convicted her on a charge of abandoning a corpse. Since Rudd had spent the past 5 years since her arrest in jail, she'll get credit for time served and will be released soon. State of Kansas is in a drought. There's a water emergency in the community of Caney. KOAM's Yana Hautala has more.
Extreme drought and lack of rain has pushed the city of Caney in Kansas to take serious action to its water usage.
We asked the town when we first had a meeting that we needed to conserve water as best as possible. And then, of course, with no rain and coming in either up north or here in Caney, has caused us to take the next step, which is going to be the water emergency class 2.
The city has been warning and asking its citizens to lessen water use for about 30 days now.
As you drive through town, you still see people that were watering their flowers and the grass and using the water, and it's just some people just didn't take it seriously. It is the first time that something like this has really came up where we had to go to this extent.
According to the city of Caney, water can be used for personal hygiene, but not for any commercial, agricultural, or industrial purposes.
Every house in town is going to get a door tag that says, hey, we're in a water emergency and now you guys have to start conserving water.
Police chief from Caney says they are not used to being the water police.
While our patrol officers are out patrolling, I've instructed them if they see somebody watering that's not supposed to be watering, to just stop and talk to them and explain the situation.
The chief expects residents to respect and take the situation seriously. If there are problems with obeying the rules, there may be disconnection of services or police will take action for the use of unnecessary water.
Probably a citation to appear in court, and then they would have to appear in court, the city court.
For now, the city is only hoping for rainfall. The mayor has been looking for other water sources and contacted another rural water district close to Caney.
They would not be able to supply all of the water, but talking to them, it looks like they could supply us at least 40%.
In Caney, Yana Hautala, KOAM News.
The city is still unsure how long the emergency stage will last. Let's check in with Sam Lane for our first look at the weather.
Yeah, what Caney needs, and of course a large part of the four states needs, is some rainfall, and unfortunately we're not seeing it. And on radar this afternoon, you can see a few sprinkles down in the Caney, Kansas area, but that was about it. We have to go all the way out to western Kansas before we start to see some storms. In fact, some severe weather in parts of Kansas this afternoon and evening. Unfortunately, this is mainly going to move up to the north and west away from us. So we're going to have to wait a little bit longer before we start to see some relief as far as rainfall. Temperatures this afternoon were very mild, generally in the mid-80s from Joplin to the west, even some upper 80s out there. A little bit cooler off to the east in Monette with 82 and 83 in Cassville. Now you want to stay tuned because there is some chances of rain in our forecast, but also lots of summer heat as well, so you want to stay tuned for that.
The Harry M. Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex in Joplin is nearly finished. It's going to be the new home for the Spiva Center for the Arts and Connect to Culture. Connect to Culture started in 2009. George A. Spiva helped establish the first arts center in Joplin in 1958.
Very strange from, kind of trying to fit all of those puzzle pieces together in the beginning and putting together that larger image of what arts and culture is in Joplin, trying to figure that out and then make it accessible to other people. A
grand opening celebration is scheduled for November 12th. Freeman Health System begins construction on a brand new office building in Joplin. That $10 million project will feature 3 stories and more than 30,000 square feet of space. Officials say it'll offer patients convenient access to dermatology services, general surgery, pain management, and urology. The new building is going to be near Freeman West, which officials say is beneficial for doctors.
So a lot of times when you go to a physician, they order procedures or tests, and you have to go to other places to get those done. So we think it'll be more convenient to have physicians as well as the testing facilities consolidated as close together as we can get them.
If all goes as planned, construction should be complete in November of next year. City of Joplin recently completed a housing study to identify needs of the community, and results show there is a highly competitive renter and ownership market. Something to always take away from the study, something to also take away the demand for different types of housing.
There's a lot more different types of housing and ways to own just that. Those are products that are not available in this market. And so there's a high probability that there's demand available for it. If people are willing to take the risk of trying it out and see if people locally have the appetite for it.
The city planner also says Joplin has a high potential for many diverse development housing projects in the future. Hispanic students at Pitt State are celebrating their heritage all month long. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
September 15th marks the first day of National Hispanic Heritage Month. A student-led organization at Pittsburg State called Hispanics of Today is kicking the month off by holding a celebration.
Well, since COVID, we didn't have this event, but this is the second one that I've been to since I've been here, and it's just like the kickoff to Hispanic Heritage Month.
After 2 years of canceling events due to COVID, Hispanics of Today is getting their names out there this school year.
I want people to know and be aware of the Hispanic community here on campus and just in Pittsburgh in general. So this is a way to reach to students, but also to the community, and let Pittsburgh know that we're here.
Establishing a Hispanic identity on campus helps students feel at home.
The need is very strong. We do have a community here in Pittsburgh, but many people who come from different places grew up in a very bigger Hispanic community. So when they come here and they don't see their culture, they get a little shy and don't want to go out and do things.
Feeling included in celebrating Hispanic heritage is one of the goals of the student-led organization.
They are able to see their own culture, speak to people in their own language, just have another person who's like family to them when they're far away from their own.
Reporting in Pittsburgh, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
Hispanics of Today is planning more on-campus events throughout Hispanic Heritage Month. Representatives of Arvest Bank presented a $5,000 check on behalf of the Arvest Foundation to members of Shine Joplin. Shine Joplin is an organization that provides a sense of belonging for adults with disabilities, and an organizer says this is going to help the disabled community.
Harvest, we care about these different communities that we serve and all of the 14 different locations we have across the area. So being able to give back in each one of those in a really specific way just means a whole lot to both the people in the buildings, in the branches themselves, and the community that surrounds them. The
grant will fund the purchase of new engraving equipment, which will be used to train participants to make engravings and other decorative items that can be sold. Coming up, asylum seekers land in Martha's Vineyard, and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis receives criticism for it. We're going to tell you why, and later we're going to check out preparations for the Four States Music Festival. Tonight, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is under fire for using taxpayer dollars to organize flights of asylum seekers to Martha's Vineyard. Backlash comes as the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, is asking the Justice Department to pursue kidnapping charges against Republican governors who are sending migrants to Democratic-run cities. Reporter Elaine Quijano has more.
The 48 asylum seekers, mainly from Venezuela, landed in Martha's Vineyard Wednesday afternoon aboard 2 planes from Texas and organized by Florida's Republican Governor Ron DeSantis. Luis Fonseca says he left Venezuela to look for a better life for his 3 children who were still there. He didn't know he would end up here. They told me there was a work opportunity, he says. We were going to a city, but we ended up staying here. Democratic Massachusetts State Representative Dylan Fernandez called the move by DeSantis disgusting.
Ron DeSantis is a coward. Only a coward uses women and children for their own political gain.
Today, Governor DeSantis defended the flights paid through a $12 million taxpayer-funded initiative.
We take what's happening at the southern border very seriously, unlike some, and unlike the President of the United States.
The move follows similar steps taken by Texas Governor Greg Abbott. Today, about 100 migrants from Texas were dropped off near the Vice President's Naval Observatory residence. So far, Abbott has bused over 10,000 migrants to New York, Chicago, and Washington, D.C. Mayors in those cities called the actions political and shameful. In South Florida, a group of Venezuelan Americans criticized DeSantis.
We demand him to stop using our pain, our suffering, and our desperation for his political gains.
Republicans on Capitol Hill defended the Florida governor's actions today. As for the migrants who are here legally seeking asylum, officials here are looking into temporarily housing them at a military base in Cape Cod. Elaine Quijano, CBS News, Edgartown, Massachusetts.
Again, the Republicans on Capitol Hill did defend the governor's action. The migrants who are there illegally seeking asylum, they're temporarily housing them at Cape Cod. A new study published in ESC Heart Failure finds the risk of developing a blood clot more than doubled for obese women taking combined oral contraceptives. Researchers say progestin-only pills, intrauterine devices, or implants offer a safer birth control alternative for women carrying excessive weight. The 83-year-old founder of Patagonia is giving away the entire outdoor clothing company, worth about $3 billion, to two environmental groups. Yvonne Chenard predicts the move will yield $100 million a year to help fund their climate change efforts. In a letter posted on Patagonia's website, he wrote, "Earth is now our only shareholder. Patagonia will remain a for-profit company," and says the money will help protect nature and biodiversity, support thriving communities, and fight the environmental crisis. Still ahead, Pitt State prepares for the Four-State Music Festival.
And it was another warm day across the area. No rainfall, but that might change in our forecast, so you want to stay tuned for that. And another beautiful day across the four states. On the dry side, we desperately need some rainfall, but at least temperatures were not that bad. Especially the dew points were comfortable, making it feel pretty nice. It's still pretty nice out there. Down the road in Seneca, Missouri at the Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Pretty pleasant evening all across the four-state area. And we saw temperatures this afternoon rise up into the mid-80s. 85 was our high, 62 was the low, which was slightly above normal for this time of year. 98 the record back in 1956 and 41 in 1961. And check out the rainfall. Only about a third of an inch so far this month. And if we keep this up and we end up with September at this figure, we're going to be the second driest September in Joplin history. That is not the kind of records we like to set. All right, let's take a look at the last few weeks, and we can see temperatures have been above normal. No big surprise there, and it's been that way all summer long. 11 days so far this month above normal and only 3 below normal. All right, radar's pretty much all clear. We did have a few sprinkles out there earlier this evening, but that was about it. Most of that evaporated before it even reached the ground. Instead, we have more storms out to the west in Nebraska and western Kansas. And don't get me wrong, they really need the rainfall too, but it'd be nice if this was moving in our direction. But unfortunately, most of the energy with this is going to go up towards the north and barely clip our area. Drought conditions are still in existence for southeastern Kansas, northeast Oklahoma in the extreme category. Now starting to creep back into southwestern Missouri. We had some improvement, but now because of the stretch of dry weather, we're starting to see the drought expand in our region. All right, let's take a look at the allergies today. 9.3 out of 12, which was not bad, and tomorrow will be a little bit better. So if you're suffering from ragweed, a little bit of improvement. All right, temperatures right now are still pretty much in the 70s in most places. Pittsburg down to 69 right now, 65 up in Stockton, 66 in Monette. A little bit warmer in Independence, where they're currently checking in with 75 and 76 for our friends in Neodesha. The big story is the dew points. Dew points have been a lot more comfortable out there, so it makes it feel a lot more better, or a lot better out there. Look at these dew points, lower 50s out to the west, and some 60s sprinkled in here and there, like over there in Mount Vernon with 60 degrees on your dew point. All right, let's take a look and show you what's going on as far as Joplin right now. 71 degrees, southeast wind at 6, and the dew point is currently at 60, so it gives us a 68% on our humidity. Futurecast looks like this. Some clouds tonight, helping keep temperatures up just a little bit better than last night. Around 63 by 7 in the morning, 62 in Parsons, Yates Center, 64 in Eureka. The rain chances will be up towards the north and west through most of the day tomorrow, but still, temperatures are going to be in the upper 80s to right around 90 degrees, especially out towards the west, like in the Ville at 91, 91 at Eureka, a little bit cooler over Manette with 84 degrees. Then as we go into tomorrow night, into Saturday morning, again, a few clouds floating by with lows generally in the 60s, maybe a 70 or 2 sprinkled in. Then on Saturday afternoon, best chance of storms way up to the north with highs generally, again, right around 90 degrees, mid-90s out towards the west. Then Saturday night into Sunday morning, a few clouds floating by with temperatures in the 70s for lows on south winds bringing up a little bit deeper moisture. Your next 7 days, 88 tomorrow, 90 on Saturday. Don't forget the 88 Strong event at Webb City, and then 94 on Sunday. And then down as we start the beginning of next week, we get close to record-setting temperatures. In fact, I'm forecasting a record of 96 on Wednesday.
We do not need
no
that.
rain in sight. Yeah, I wish I had better news.
Yeah, me too.
All
Thanks,
right.
Sam. Social House Entertainment is preparing for the 4th State Music Festival, Pittsburg State University's first ever country music festival. That festival is going to feature artists like Chase Rice and Cameron Marlowe. An event organizer says there'll be something for everyone.
We've got country music artists, we've got, food vendors, retail vendors, we've got VIP lounge, we've got all the cool aspects, art installations, photo ops that you would get at like a 3 or 4 day music festival, but we do it in 1 day. So you get that true festival experience instead of just going to a concert.
The gates open tomorrow at 5 p.m. Still ahead, the Kansas City Chiefs hit the field for a big AFC West showdown with the Los Angeles Chargers. And the Colgan Panthers played their home opener tonight against the Riverton Rams. Jacob Leonard has that and more up next.
This week is week 3 of the high school football season in southeast Kansas. And tonight, the Colgan Panthers hit the field for some Thursday night action, hosting Riverton for their home opener. Colgan is 1-1 coming into the night. On the other side, the Rams aim for their first win of the season. First quarter, Tucker Harrell throws it up. Colin Height wide open into the end zone for the touchdown. Colgan goes up 6-0. Now still in the first. Check out this run. Clayton Adamson for the Panthers going outside. Nothing there. Cuts back inside. Only to go back outside. Then he's off 65 yards for Adamson. Gets the Colgan lead to 12-0. Colgan's defense really strong in the first half. Harrell makes a play for the interception here. Panthers get the ball in the second. Cooper Simmons knew he's going to show up in these highlights at some point, right? He gets loose, 26 yards for the score. Colgan starts to pull away. Now back to that Panther defense. It's Simmons. Interception this time. He gets a nice return too. Takes it back into Riverton territory. Another turnover for Colgan. They take advantage of this one too. Harrell floats it to the end zone. Connor Van Beesler there for the touchdown. Colgan rolls tonight over Riverton 54-14. At the college level, this weekend is family weekend for the Pittsburg State Guerrillas. Pitt State hosts the Northeastern State Riverhawks on Saturday night. Now, the Guerrillas 2-0 this season after beating 11th ranked Nebraska Kearney last weekend. With that win, Pitt State's cracked the national rankings, setting at number 16 heading into Saturday. Quarterback Chad Dotson Jr. threw for 301 yards and 4 touchdowns against the Lopers, earning MIAA Offensive Player of the Week honors. Here's his head coach Brian Wright on if that performance was the best he's seen so far from a sophomore QB.
I think so. Yep, it was, and I think as an offensive staff we put together a plan for him too to go out and execute and have some success as well, and put him in maybe some better situations than we had in the past, and tried to spread it out a little bit more and let him take what the defense gives you, and he did a great job of that.
Just his confidence has just gone through the roof, even through these first 2 games. You can even kind of see it in practice, like his balls have been kind of catchable, just nice, and he's just trying to aim it in there. But now, when we're out there, he's just ripping it in there, and like, you're like, oh, okay.
Finally, big one for the Kansas City Chiefs tonight, playing their home opener against the Chargers. That one just went final a few minutes ago. Chiefs win 27-24. Mahomes goes for 235, 2 scores. Jalen Watson had a 99-yard pick six in the third quarter that gave the Chiefs their first lead. That was obviously a huge play in the game, huge momentum shift, especially there at Arrowhead Stadium. I'm sure it was deafening.
No doubt about it. It always is there, and tonight it would have been more so than usual. We'll be right back. Take time now to honor a member of the U.S. Armed Forces. Benjamin Kilman joined the U.S. Marine Corps in 2006. His hometown, Carthage, Missouri. And we're proud to salute Lance Corporal Benjamin Kilman, a four-state hero. Light Bright Nerf toys and Pound puppies are among the dozen National Toy Hall of Fame finalists for 2022. The others are Bingo, Briar Horses, Catan, Masters of the Universe, Pinata, Phase 10, Racco, Spirograph, and The Top. The Hall of Fame is at the Strong National Museum of Play in Rochester, New York. An advisory committee will select 3 inductees. The public can also vote online through September 21st. A lot of great toys there, but can you believe The Top isn't in there yet?
I know. You'd think that would have been a long time ago.
I would think that would have been one of the obvious ones, you know, one of the first inductees.
Well, let's see if we can top this forecast. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be highs in the 90s, even some record maybe setting temperatures midweek next week with dry conditions continuing. There is some hope on the horizon, but we'll have to wait and see if that pans out.
Good to see the Chiefs top the Chargers tonight. Can you top that?
I top that. Tomorrow night, we're going to top that with some local high school football.
Very
Seneca,
good.
Lamar, Joplin, Webb, Galena, Girard. So many good games tomorrow. Be right here for that tomorrow night.
Very good. Morning show, 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.